Hello? Hey babe. Yeah, I just want to let you know, finally, I find the right car for our holidays. What that means? That means you have free hand with the packing. Son, always remember, when it comes to packing, never let go of the scepter. My father was right. And that despite even this car is so long and so big. I mean, take a look at it, what a giant. But lately here by the side view, one thing gets clear. The brand new Volkswagen Tayron has nothing to do with the smaller brother, the Volkswagen Tiguan, because the design language sidewise is completely different. You have here some design element that looks like an ice hockey stick, and also the hips are wider. And lately here, by the design of the wheel arches, you realize, yes, this is something different. But when you think now, okay, but it reminds me somehow on his brother, the Skoda Kodiaq, then this is because he and the Kodiaq shares the same platform. When you take a look to the front view, you realize it looks pretty the same way like his smaller brother, the Volkswagen Tiguan. But when you then decide to get a little bit closer, you realize, okay, it is a little bit wider and higher. And also, the design language of the front bumper is different. And lately, when you unlock the car, you realize the light signature is different, because this light signature is only for the Volkswagen Tayron available. Don't get me wrong, I really love the design language of the brand new Volkswagen Tayron, but my personal highlight is, ta-da, the back view of this car, because it managed so well the brand new design language from Volkswagen with a small shot of the design language from Audi. It looks so white, so elegant, like a statement on the street. And also the light signature here is standalone. It says clear to you, this is not the Volkswagen Tiguan. This is the brand new Tayron. You know, there are some cars out there. So when you're walking around those cars and you realize how big and how wide they are, then you have a surprise when you sit behind the steering wheel, because you start to drive and you realize, okay, the way how this car drives is not the same way like it looks like from the exterior. It doesn't feel that much bigger than it is, you know? And if you now think that is the same thing at the VW Tayron, then you're wrong, because the Volkswagen Tayron is exactly driving the way how it looks like from the exterior. It looks big and heavy, and this is also the way how this car drives. It is really a big, heavy car, and you realize it immediately after the few meters on the street, okay? But I mean, let's be honest, that's the reason why you decide to buy this car, because you want to have something big and tall, okay? What it doesn't is a wide car, because it feels long, it feels high, but not wide. So everybody who's already driven once in his lifetime some Volkswagen Passat, for example, or a normal Volkswagen Tiguan, it is exactly that kind of feeling when we're talking about wideness, how wide this car is, okay? But let's talk about the way how it feels to drive this big and high SUV. So you sit very high in this car, okay? And you realize when you're moving through the corners, I mean the normal way, not fast, that you really have a lot of car behind of you. A long tail that you're moving around on the street. And that's okay, because I mean, you decide to go for this car because you want to have a big car with a lot of space that brings you very comfortable from A to B.
without any emotions. And you know what? This is exactly what this car gives it to you. No emotions, very simple driving, feeling very comfortable, very good isolated. So what means it doesn't have some big noises from the exterior, from outside, like wind noises or tarmac noises, or the noises by the cars who pass you by. You know, really very neutral feeling in the interior. It feels some like you were sitting in a smaller living room. That's the way how it feels. Very comfortable seats with a small side support, what I like. So when you moving a little bit faster through the corners than you should, you still have side support. What doesn't mean it doesn't throw you out of the seats, and that's good. That's really good. The ambience in those interior is like the same way like this car looks from the outside. Boring. It is okay. It is practical. Everything is exactly there where it should be, but it's without any emotions. Okay? I think that's okay, because the classic clients who decide to buy this car are some people that don't want to have some excitement in their cars. They want to have a normal, practical, good-looking car, modern-looking car with all that features that you want to have in a big SUV like this one, and you have it for short money. Okay. You know, that car is so much unspectacular, then otherwise it's already again spectacular how unspectacular it is. Because I know it sounds funny, but I'm driving this car really around town to a small village with tight roads, and it is so unspectacular, so easy, so soft, so comfortable how this car drives. I mean, I'm so far away to say it is boring, okay? But in a good way, because it's really that kind of unspectacular that gives you time to enjoy your smoothly soft drive through a small town like we drive it right now with tight streets and everywhere small corners, you know? And this shows the quality of this car as a daily car for family and for some people that need to carry around many stuff with them, like some bicycle, sports stuff or whatever, and gives you is some indicator that lets you know how big the potential by this car is. For example, when you want to use it as a car for long distance drives, to go, for example, to holidays, or do some business travelers, whatever. I really could imagine after 1,000 kilometers and more, after a whole journey of traveling on the European highways, that you get at the evening out of this car without any backache and butt ache and whatever ache it has. Only maybe you will have ear aches, because all the time the sensors are warning you are 2 kilometers per hour too fast, you are too near to the front car in front of you. This is something that I don't like in this car, but I mean that's normally in 2025, because all those cars with those assistance systems warns you about everything that you operate. Whatever you operate in this car, the way you drive, when you don't drive it this way, like this car think you should drive it, you have some alert, beep, bap, bap, they're everywhere, some blinking lights, and that disturbs you. You can deactivate it, but after every new start, it's coming back again. Okay, I mean, it is what it is. This is by every newer car. This is the way how it works, how it should be, says the law. And but I think, okay, good. I always compare it to myself, because the regular one client, the regular one driver who will buy this car is somebody who's drive more easier on the street without driving nearby, or took a corner a little bit faster, or accelerate a little bit faster, or whatever I'm doing, you know. I'm a little bit a specific driver. But yeah, really the way how this car feels in general, now you see when I overtaken this bicycle driver, no problem with this 1.5 liter, no problem. It is not the fastest and the most powerful engine for this car, but it is really the perfect engine for this car because everything fits. The whole characteristic about this 1.5 liter engine and this big chassis, I was a little bit skeptical at the beginning because I thought, you know, 1.5 liter engine, yes, it has the mild hybrid system, but I mean, take a look how big this car is. This could not work, you know. And after some meters on the street, when you stand somewhere, let's say on the red light, and you want to jump off, accelerate, it do its job perfectly. It do its job perfectly. It has enough reserves and power for normal driving, but also sometimes a little bit sporty driving when you want to overtake somebody, or just want to immediately fast start away from the red light, let's say, okay? And then when you start to, it is a little bit noisier, of course. When you start to drive a little bit more performance, listen, like I'm trying to do it now, you see there is a little bit more noisiness in this whole interior because it's a small engine. But you never have the feeling, oh, it is a too small engine for that big chassis. Now, no, it is absolutely the right engine, okay? If you are a normal driver, you will be happy with that engine, really. Fuel consumption, everything works, it fits everything perfect. So, but when you are somebody like I am, a driver who want to have a sportier car, then you will decide to go for a more powerful engine, you know? Something with more torque, something with more horsepower. Something like, for example, an Tiguan R-Line with the right equipment. What means the R-Line package, interior and exterior, including a bigger engine. Exactly like this one here, with the powerful 2.0 liter turbo diesel engine with 193 horsepower and mighty 400 Newton meters of torque. And what is even more important, with the sharper looking R-Line package. But the question is, do we only just look sharper, or do he also drive sharper? Let's find it out. No, not really. It really looks much more sharper from the exterior, and also the same thing in the interior. And in case of this, it fakes you the feeling that it also drives sharper because now you have those R-Line bucket seats and the R-Line steering wheel, like you know it maybe from the Golf GTI or Golf R. But the chassis and the suspension are pretty the same like that one that we've driven before with the cheaper equipment. And so in case of this, after first few meters you realize it's exactly the same way, drives exactly the same way like the other car. What's okay, I mean, because why it should drive sharper? Because this is a big SUV, it's not a sport SUV. It's an SUV with some sport accents if you choose it with the R-Line. Let's say it like this. And now I also realize how much more different this R-Line package feels to me. Now, in case of this R-Line package, the whole car feels one level up, okay? That's how it feels to me. It feels like a different car, like a more quality and more luxurious car. And I also imagine it is much more quieter inside. Maybe it is, maybe not, maybe I'm wrong, but all these feelings, because all the R-Line accents play with your senses and fakes you some kind of, you're driving a much better car, my friend. But it isn't a much better car. It is just a better equipment. The car is still the same, okay? But it shows how important it is, maybe sometimes, to think about it, if it's more worth it to take a little bit more money in your hand and to invest it in a better equipment, like in case of this R-Line package. Because I think if you, an owner who really owned this car for many years, 4, 5, 6, 7 years, it will be a thing that you will be thankful to yourself that you make this decision, okay? Because I mean, it's something that you need to live with it, okay? But back to the driving experience. It is the same driving experience. It is like the other one. Okay, now we have the 2-liter diesel engine inside, which means we have more power. To be more precise, 193 horsepower and much more Newton meters. And this car has the 4x4 system. And when you drive it easy around town, like we do it right now, you drive comfortable, you realize nothing about all of that, okay? But when you're driving a little bit more sharper through the corners and you accelerate maybe a little bit more sharper, then you realize definitely the benefit of this engine in combination with this 4x4 system. Because, for example, for me and my driving, the way how I drive cars, it is the better choice than the other one. The other one is more for maybe more comfortable older people. Let's say like this. They don't care, they don't give a damn about it if a car drives more sharper through the corners. And I think it's okay because it's a big SUV. Why should it drive sharper? But for me, I'm one of those idiots that doesn't matter how big this car is, always, sometimes I want to move it a little bit more sharper through the corners and on the street. And I think, okay, I will be not the only one that thinks like this, okay? But the feeling on the steering wheel still is the same like by the other car. The feeling through the corners also, you just realize in case of this 4x4 system how much better this car turns around in the middle point of the corner because you have some support now from the back axle also. And all that together gives you a little bit more, a better feeling, a little bit more sportier feeling by this R-Line model with the 4x4 system and a more powerful engine. All right, so let's take a look at the most important task that this car, in my eyes, have to fulfill, and this is the highway task, okay? Because I think the major part of the existence of this car will be on the highway. So the car will be spent the most time of his existence on the highway. And I mean, come on, let's be honest, that's the reason why you buy a big SUV. You buy a big SUV because you need space for you, your family, your friends, or maybe your sports equipment, and you want to drive long-term distance. Okay, you want to drive to holidays or maybe some big trips on the weekend with a lot of stuff inside or many persons inside, okay? And so after the first few meters on the highway, you realize it is exactly that what I expect from this car, okay? It is like the Kodiaq, okay? I driven it 1 week ago, the Skoda Kodiaq, but this one, maybe I'm wrong, but it feels more premium, more adult to me than the Kodiaq, okay? Maybe I'm wrong, maybe it just seems to me like that. It feels so great. What I realize is the comfort of this suspension is unbelievable. It is exactly that what you want to have on the highway. It's exactly that what you want to have for a highway car, for long distance drive. Perfect. I realized also after some minutes, maybe those seats, those airline bucket seats are a little bit too sporty for the whole philosophy of this car, because it looks nice, but I think it will be fits much better if you have some kind of like a seat like this, but more wider, okay? That is more comfortable to you. Not that one like in the cheap model, but something between, okay? Then, opposite way, the steering wheel is great, it feels great, it looks very sporty, but it feels really great to operate with that, to hold it in your hands, perfect. And what I also realized is how quiet it is inside. I mean, I didn't hear nothing from those cars that I'm passed by. And not only cars, even also trucks, because, I mean, everybody of you know it. When you pass a truck, it's always noisy, okay? It's always noisy when you drive by on the side of this truck. And so now I'm driving by on cars, I drive by trucks, cars, and I don't realize nothing. No noisiness from them. No noisiness from the wind, from the driving winds, no noisiness from the tarmac. It is really a perfect place to be. It's exactly this. It's a perfect place to be. It's exactly that what I expect from a car like this. And this is also what I want to have from a car like this, okay? Comfort, some kind of luxury. Of course, you cannot compare it to a Audi Q8 or, for example, a BMW X7, okay? But don't forget, you pay much less money. You pay much more cheaper money for this car. And this is exactly what you want to have as a normal person, a normal family father or whatever. To have a car with a lot of space, with a lot of driving comfort for not crazy money. And this is really one of those tasks that the Tayron and the Skoda Kodiaq fulfill perfectly, like no other car. And I would say really this is, in those segments, this is here really the best choice you can choose. This brand new Volkswagen Tayron. Such a great car to travel. Oh, it feels so great to drive around with this car. And it is really worth it to think about. I say it again, it is really worth it to think about, to take that more money in your hand and to invest it in the airline interior, because it makes so much sense. It gives you this more premium feeling. It is really nearly to a Volkswagen Touareg that costs a lot more money. But yeah, it's really great. I love it. I will take it for the holidays, summer holidays, put my family inside and really drive many kilometers with that car. That's how great this car really feels to me. Wow. So anybody who knows me knows that I'm sometimes an idiot, and I will be not that kind of idiot that I am if I don't want to try to drive it a little bit sportier. So let's go to the sport mode. I know this car it's not made to be driven sporty, but I'm curious about that, how it feels like when I move it a little bit sharper through the corners. And I realize when I'm going to sport how much sharper the map of the gas pedal is. It reacts much faster on the gas pedal, and when I throw it a little bit through the corners, I realize it's not that bad. I mean, that's really a big long car, but it doesn't feel that much wrong like I thought. Wow, funny. You realize it is a task that he don't want to fulfill. He ain't do it with joy, but he do it because you ask for it, okay? And it is okay. It is long. You realize how long the back of this and how heavy the back of this car is, but it goes nice through the corners. Wow, I'm impressed. Not bad. Really not bad. For such a big car, okay. Yeah, but let's go back to comfort, because comfort, this is the right setting for this car. This is the setting in which this car will be moved. And let's be honest, that's the reason why you decide to buy this car and not the sport mode, okay? It was just funny to find out how agile it is through the corners. And it is really agile for such a long car like it is. Wow. So what I need to say is, so we knew the Volkswagen Tayron is the successor to the not so loved Volkswagen Tiguan Allspace, the previous model. And what I really need to say about this brand new VW Tayron is it feels so specific different compared to the normal Tiguan, okay? And this was not the case by the previous Tiguan Allspace. The Tiguan Allspace looks and feels when you drive it exactly the same way like the regular one, Volkswagen Tiguan, okay? It looks the same way, it drives the same way, only with the difference that you have a third seat row in the back and a bigger trunk, and that's already is. But in case of this car, of the brand new Tayron, it feels really like a own car, okay? The way how it looks like from the side, the way how it looks like from the back, okay? From the front, okay, it looks pretty similar to a Volkswagen Tiguan, to a regular one. It looks different, but it looks also kind of similar. But the real magic happens when you sit behind the steering wheel, you start to drive, and you realize first, it drives completely different compared to a regular one Tiguan, and the whole ambience in this car, the whole way how it feels like to moving around with this car is also something special, okay? Something special, I mean, not special in the normal way. It's special compared to the Volkswagen Tiguan, okay? It is not the same thing. It is something different, okay? And that's what I feel, that feels so fresh to me, you know, because I mean, it's a car from the same family like the Tiguan, just his bigger brothers, but it still have his own character. That's the right word that I'm searching for. This car has his own character, and this is so fresh to me. It's so sympathetic to me, and that's what I really like about this car. It feels somewhere between, and I think that's the right position, between a normal Volkswagen Tiguan and a Volkswagen Touareg, his bigger brother. And also when you compare it to the Skoda Kodiaq, it is a different way. It is a different character in this car to drive it and to sit in this interior behind the steering wheel. And that's really something that sticks out. That really I need to give a big applause to it, because normally modern days, all those cars, when they're coming from the same brand, they have some kind of same character that feels the same way when you drive it, but not in case of this Volkswagen Tayron. Really big up. Wow.
Before we come to the end, let's take a closer look to the engine selection of the Volkswagen Tayron. And in his case, we have 3 categories. In category 1, we have the famous 2.0 TSI gasoline engine with 2 different power outputs. Once with 204 horsepower, where the price starts by 57,600 Swiss francs, and the other one with 265 horsepower, where the price starts by 61,000 Swiss francs. Both engines comes with the 4x4 system and the 7-gear dual-clutch gearbox. Both engines work without any hybrid support. The second category is the plug-in hybrid, where we also have drivetrains with 2 different power outputs. Both comes with the 1.5 TSI engine, once with 150 horsepower, which starts by 59,100 Swiss francs, and the other one with 177 horsepower, where the price starts by 62,600 Swiss francs. Both drivetrains has a full electric range of approximately 120 kilometers. The third and the last category is the good old diesel engine. To be more precisely, the famous 2.0 TDI engine with 193 horsepower. This engine comes with the 4x4 system and the 7-gear dual-clutch gearbox. In this case, the price starts by 61,200 Swiss francs. This engine also performs without any hybrid support.